And when you start reading, you do something very important. You stop frequently. So the worst thing you can do while reading a book is to start reading and just go.
Okay, let's get started. And everyone, today is a very important day. So I introduce my secret friend. We've been friends for years.
Yeah.
I want to introduce Alex, and he's a teacher, science communicator, a digital entrepreneur, and also a YouTuber. And Alex teach people learn better, faster. And also, Alex teaches maybe people in school, in a university, and in a company. And you have more than 10 years, and you're from Italy.
Yeah.
Right, you're from Italy.
I am.
So let me introduce my friend Alex to you guys. And today, Alex will tell us how to learn faster.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be here, my friend, and to be able to speak to you and your audience. So it's a great pleasure and an honor to be here. So thank you. Thank you for the great introduction. So
yeah, and we had a discussions like, okay, how do we begin? Because Alex, you have so many things you can share with us, right?
Yeah.
But we have to start somewhere. And for me and my audience, I'm pretty sure we want to learn things better, and we want to become better. That's how my channel is about, right?
Yes.
So I guess we can start from that. We want to get some knowledge, or we want to read a book. And I guarantee you, many people, they don't really know how to read a book. I don't even know how to read a book.
Yeah.
I would say that we just read it.
Yeah.
And most of the people, they get frightened, they get threatened, to read a book. And it's a common problem. So I think today we can start to talk about like how we can get a knowledge in a better way.
Yeah, that's a great topic, because as you very well know, today is even more important than in the past to be able to learn, all our lives. We have to learn each and every day if we want to improve ourselves, if we want to, develop new knowledge, new skills, both hard and soft skills. If we want to, succeed in our job, in our life, we need to learn. And the first thing I want to say is today we have access to a variety of sources to learn. Maybe 12, 20, 30 years ago, we only had books. Right now, we have audiobooks, we have videos, we have video courses, we have, a lot of different podcasts, a lot of these different sources to learn. But the important thing is that whatever source you want to consume knowledge with, whether it be a book or a video course, the principles that will allow you to learn faster, better, and to develop knowledge and consume knowledge in a more effective and efficient way are always the same. The thing is, we have to look at science and the cognitive scientists to understand how our brain works. If we understand how our brain works, then we can learn basically anything better, and we can maintain the information for a long term. So let's say we want to read a book. You said something very, very important. It may seem something daunting, something very scary, because a book is maybe a big book, or maybe we haven't read in a while, and it's something that may put us in stress. Oh no, I have to learn this difficult stuff. So the first thing we want to know is that learning require to work require some kind of effort, some kind of energy to put in. So we need to understand that in order to learn, we cannot be passive. The first thing that people don't understand about learning is that we cannot just sit in front of a book, reading page by page, and expect the information to jump from the book to our brain. That's not how it works. You need to remember that we didn't evolve as a human species, to read books on engineering or entrepreneurship. We evolved to solve problems, to find food to eat, to survive, basically. So our brain, our machine develops and to solve problems. So before we start learning something, we need to set precise goals. This is very important. If we have, a book, here I am, one of my books, the one I written, and we just open and we start reading, the brain, it's kind of difficult for the brain because it doesn't know what we want to do with that, information. It doesn't have, a clear goal in mind. It's basically lost. It's like a ship in a new sea. There's a sea of knowledge and we are dropped from above. That's a great mistake. So before we start reading a chapter of a book, we may start by asking ourselves, what do I need to learn? What do I want to know from this book? And we may start by compiling or put together 5 or 6 basic questions that we want to find the answer to in the text. We are slowly changing the approach. We are not reading the book and allowing the book to speak to us. We are searching in the book. This may seem very subtle, may seem the same thing, but it's not. It's the difference between walking in a forest or searching for our prey. It's a very different approach, very different motivation even. If I say to you, this is a chapter or this is a page, find me where in the page is that concept, then you will adopt a different approach because you will not read just to see what's written there. You will search with intent to find, oh, that's what I needed. Okay, so you will focus. So the first thing is, let's build a set of questions so that we know exactly what we want to know, how we want to find it. So we are not ever going to read just for the sake of reading, unless it's, a novel, or we want to read poetry, something just to entertain ourselves. But if we want to read to learn, then we need a set of goals. After we've set the goal, we can do.
And about the goal,
Yeah.
I think that is brilliant because it's more like engineer head, right? It's like we are doing searching. I'm a software engineer before.
Yeah.
We know how to process the data and we have a goal to process the data. But what do you recommend? What kind of goal should we set?
Let's say I'm reading a book on how to be more confident, or how to succeed in life. Maybe some self-help book, motivational book. What I want to know, the first chapter is called How to Be More Attractive. What I want to know is A, what it means to be attractive. B, how do I obtain that? And C, what I'm currently doing that it's wrong that I can change. Very simple goal. So it may be a question. If I'm reading a newspaper and I'm reading the news, I want to know what happened, where, why, how, and who was the person involved. If I'm learning about engineering and how to build, a rocket, I want to know how a rocket works. What kind of tools do I need to build that? How much it costs? Specific, they're not, generic goals. They're knowledge goals. What do I need to know in order to be satisfied with my reading? So if I start reading a book, there's always something I want from that book. There's going to be different goals for different people, of course. If I have a video course, maybe it works with a course at the same time. If I am watching a video course on how to become rich, I want to know exactly the steps I need to follow in order to achieve that goal. We both did a video course on how to build a video course business. And so we wanted to know exactly how am I going to write the emails to achieve that? How am I going to shoot the video in order to create a great video? So whatever your final goal is, it will be based on micro goals, micro steps of knowledge. I need to know this in order to achieve that. And that will be the question I ask myself and I ask the book or the video I'm watching. It's the same thing. So if I'm in school and I'm reading about history, and I can ask, the goal maybe I want to know what was the name of the king, what was the war, when the war started, how it went, who won. Those are my goals. Those goals can be framed also as the kind of things that someone else may ask us. If we are at university, the professor at the exam may ask us something. And so the same questions he may ask us are the questions we will ask the book. Or if I'm, company and I'm learning for my job, I put myself in my boss's shoes, what he or she wants from me. She wants or he wants me to be able to do this. And so I ask the book, how do I do this? And I go searching. The thing is, we're not reading, we are searching, we are investigating. It's like we are hunting in the book. The book is the forest. The knowledge we need is our prey, and we are the hunters. That's the kind of approach.
I remember when I read a book, I just read like a normal people. I just read the book by its own way, right?
Yeah.
Because I have this fear that, for example, I have this fear that, oh, what if I lose this chapter in the very beginning? I always have this kind of idea that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I should read the first page, and I can understand the second page, and I'll understand the next page, right? And then I can just like get so overwhelmed, and I just get tired, and I just stop reading the book. But if I have the goal right there, then I'm not a slave by the book.
No,
It's a
you
tool
are
for
in
me.
charge. Yeah, you are in charge. The book is just a tool to pass out knowledge. But I will say this, you don't always need the entire book. Maybe you just need a specific chapter, or maybe you need a specific chapter today, and tomorrow you will need the rest of the book. It's okay. We learn when we are kids that when we start reading a book, we must read the entire book from page to page. It's not true. Why we're reading? We are reading to learn something. And so my goals can be different from the goals of the book itself. Maybe only a specific part of that book is helpful to me. We need to be in charge. The idea behind the effective learning strategies and approach is to be in control. We are not passive. We are not receiving information. We are seeking information, searching information. We are deciding which information we want and which we don't need. It's impossible to know everything and anything. We will never be able to be, people that know everything about whatever. So we need to choose. We need to choose what our goals are, what our battles are, and find in the book or the video the answer. After you set the goal, another very intelligent thing to do is to rapidly skim through the text. So you're not reading, you're just, searching with your eyes very fast on the page just to get the idea of the structure of the text. Because sometimes it's very hard to read because the text is very dense, is very, slow to read, is tough. And so before the start of the reading phase, we just skim through, take a look, and see if we can very quickly, not understand what it's written in the book because we're very fast at this point, but maybe we can understand where the book answer our goals, our questions. Maybe we can catch some keywords here and there that will allow us to say, oh, the first answer I'm searching for is at page 5. That doesn't necessarily mean we won't read page 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's not what it means. But it's like watching the trailer for a movie before going to the cinema, just to have the idea of what we are gonna go into. This is very important to remove that sensation of being overwhelmed by the book. When we open the book, everything is new, it's difficult, I'm tired, I don't know. But if we skim through rapidly with our goals in mind, we know what the book is about. The structure of the book, the content of the book, maybe we understand that there's a chapter we don't need. We have a rough idea. It's very important to not stop there, though. Otherwise, we will be left with just a quick summary. It's like watching the trailer instead of the movie. Okay, so it's helpful, but later you're going to watch the movie, though. That's very important. So first, you set your goals. Then you skim through just to understand the basic structure and to familiarize with the text. And then you start reading. And when you start reading, you do something very important. You stop frequently. So the worst thing you can do while reading a book is to start reading and just go. Go and read 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, and then 1 hour later, you find yourself at page 10 and you don't remember anything about the 9 pages you read before. You are not reading with the goal in mind to reach the end of the book or the chapter as soon as you can. That's not true, speed. If you want to be a true speed reader, you don't have to be concerned about the speed on which you turn the pages. You need to be focused on how fast can I gain the knowledge. That's the key. Because the idea is I want to read this one time. I don't have time to waste. Once I've read this page, I will never read this page again. And I need to be sure that whatever important knowledge is in that page, I gained. That's very important. So you read maybe even a bit slower, but in the end, you're faster because when you reach the end of the chapter or the book, you don't need to read anything else. So very, very deliberate approach, and you stop maybe after a couple of sentences, and you ask yourself, what was the knowledge content of what I read? Am I able to repeat or maybe elaborate what I read? So sometimes when I work with students, especially, I give them 2 or 3 sentences to read, and then they read them, and then I say, okay, so tell me, close the book and tell me, what did you just read? And they're like, oh, I don't remember, because they were not truly reading. They were just using their eyes on the book. It's not the same thing. You need to stop and ask yourself, what did I just read? Do I remember? Do I understand? Is this sentence helpful to me? The answer may be no. No, this sentence doesn't contain anything helpful to me. Okay, so let's go to the next one. But the important thing is to stop. So a true speed reader stops every 1, 2, 3 sentences, not an entire page, less than that, and try to remember what he just read. May seem stupid because you're saying, oh, but I just read it. It's not stupid. You will find that most of the time, if you're not trained to do this, you will not remember what you read 3 sentences ago. And that's true. That's the problem. That's why we read 2, 3, 4 times the same shit. Sorry for my language. That life is too short to read the same book twice, with the exception of great novels. But that's entertaining, though. If I'm reading a book to learn, I just need to learn. I don't want to read it again because it's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to prove to your teacher and tell her, oh, yesterday I finished a book, right? I think we have this kind of validation. Yeah. We need a validation from the old teacher, and we try to prove then that we finished the book. And it's, oh, did you finish the book? Yeah, I finished the book. No, if you don't remember anything, it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yes, and finishing the book, it's not
finishing
a goal.
The book is not a goal, right? So actually, I realized that also by myself. So I have this idea. This is my way, and of course, maybe you can tell me the better way. I have Evernote. Every time I read something, right, I know, oh, this is great, and I also understand. 10 minutes later, I will forget about this. So I always write a sentence about what I read, and for me, it's very hard for me to just put one sentence, because if I copy all the text, then you don't have to put it, right? So I have to put one sentence to understand what this. And so I have this sheet every time I read a book. I have this like boom, 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 boom. So maybe like 1 month later, I come to review it and say, oh I remember this.
We will get to the part about remembering stuff for a long time. But what you do, summarize, taking notes is very important, very helpful. At the same time, you can do it even more efficiently with a map or a diagram. So instead of writing entire sentences, you can focus on searching inside the sentence 1, 2, 3 words that together will remember you the entire concept. So if you think about it, we don't need an entire sentence. We just need a couple keywords to retrieve the entire concept. Let's say a phrase like this: to read a book, you need patience and you need commitment. This is the phrase. We don't need all those words. We need read, patience, commitment. And if we read those 3 words, we immediately remember the entire sentence, because the other words were just
replaceable, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of writing the entire sentence, just write the keywords necessary to retrieve the sentence. That's even better, because another powerful concept that you need to understand truly if you want to learn something very efficiently is what is called a retrieval practice. So basically, we've been told when we were in school and university and stuff that if we want to remember stuff, we just need to read it all over again or repeat it all over again. Just do the same thing all over again until we remember it. Now, this is true in the sense that our brain, if we repeat something a sufficient number of times, our brain gets tired and just say, okay, whatever, I will remember this. But we can do it better with this system, the retrieval practice. It's one of the pillars of scientific evidence-based learning. And the idea is this: instead of rereading, repeating, rewriting, the best way to remember something is to make an effort to search it inside our brains, retrieve it, and use it. So basically, we're not reading again the same sentence. We are asking our brain to search inside of itself and find that sentence and use it again. The best way to do this is through questions. So let's make an example. If I ask you, what's your name? And you said to me, my name is Aiden. Okay, what is your brain doing? Is it reading from somewhere, what's your name? No. It's searching inside memory, the file with name written, search the file, finds the file. In the file, there's there's written Aiden, keyword, and use it. And that's the keyword. And you reply to my sentence. Every time we search something in our brain, we retrieve it and we use it, that memory becomes stronger. So if you want to remember something, instead of reading the book again or writing again or hearing again the video, prepare a set of questions, maybe flashcards even, like a sheet of paper with a question written on it and the other side, the answer, and make a quiz. A couple hours after I stopped reading the book, I maybe have 20 questions, and I just put in a box and just extract like a game, Do I remember this question? If the answer is yes, okay, let's go with the next one. If the answer is no, then I will go back to read it. It's because I don't remember it. And so I need to study it again. So this method allows you to remember things indefinitely, because every time you review something like this, you use the retrieval practice, you test the information with a question and answer, the quiz method, the flashcard method. There are also apps to do that, softwares. The best one is Anki. It's written Anki. It's a simple software. It makes you create a flashcard. So you write a question. On the reverse side, it's digital, of course. On the reverse side, the answer. And then the software just reminds you to review the questions when it's needed. So there's a system, an algorithm that just knows when you need to review based on how the brain works. It's very effective. You can learn new vocabulary for a new language. You can learn for your exams at university. You can learn code for guys in IT. You can do whatever. Names, you can learn whatever with this method. And
wow.
Yeah, it's very powerful. So the idea is, you said earlier, maybe in a month or a couple of weeks, I will read again my summary and I will remember. With this system, you don't need to do that because you will review those questions and those concepts, maybe the map you drew or something. Frequently, you will not allow your brain to forget it. So you will not need to study again or learn again or read again and say, oh yeah, I don't remember this, I will go back. No, you will just consolidate the information for as long as you want. So basically,
so can I say that basically you just transfer the whole book to a set of flashcard? So in the future, I have a all set of flashcard represent this book.
Yes.
We don't really care about a book itself. We care about the concept in the book and by this flashcard.
Yeah. If you want to do something more, you can create mind maps. With keywords from the book, you create a mind map. And when you have both your maps and your flashcards, you don't need the book anymore. Unless you enjoy reading it. Yeah. That's another thing. I collect books. So I like having books around. I love them, but I don't need them. That's the key. And the same thing can be done with a video course. Exactly the same thing. All this system is very coherent because we started, if you remember, by setting goals and asking us questions we want the answer to. And we finished with questions that will help us remember things. Those can be the same thing. Before reading, I collect my goals and I write my questions. Then I read the book. I maybe use Evernote or build them up using keywords. And I will read very intently, stopping at every 2 phrases to ask myself, And when I've finished reading, I will write other questions to create my list of flashcards. But some of those questions will be the first ones, the one that I created before reading, because the concept and the goals I had were already expressed in question form.
You just say something that is just clicked my mind, right? Because I was just thinking about this method, right? So if before I read a book, for example, I want to have this, okay, how do I know somebody's behavior, right? So because I have this question right there, so when I read a book, and I will see, oh, this is a paragraph right there. Then I will stop, right? I will take it slowly. But if I didn't do anything about that, I will just all the same speed and finish the book. But if I read somewhere and he's doing some bullshit and I say it's not helping my question, so I just skip it. But here, this is the point, and I will stop it. That's very clever.
The idea is your brain will recognize, oh, this is one of the answers I needed. Of course, there's a small catch. You will need to read the text carefully because when you read, you will develop new questions. So that's very important. So do not stop with the first question you find, because the first ones will be the basic ones, the ones that you develop before reading. And so they will be the macro goal. I want to know this. But as you go on reading, new questions will start to emerge. And you will add them to your pool of questions. Okay, so do not stop with the 4 or 5 questions you will begin with. Otherwise, your study will be very superficial. The important thing is to proceed question, searching, answer, and again and again and again. And while I'm doing this, I will think, oh, there's another interesting question I can search for, and again and again and again. And this process will build you a body of knowledge, a very important one. And also, it will teach you right from the start how to use that knowledge. Because if we just, read the book, we are not prepared to use that information. Maybe if we are in university, we don't know how to reply to a question from our teacher, or in school, the same thing. But if we do this right from the start, we are already mastering our ability to reply faster. If our boss asks us, how do you do that? And we've applied this system, we already know how to answer, because we've already developed the habit of replying to the answer, to the question. That's very powerful. That's very helpful. And you can do it with whatever source you want. Podcast, video, you open YouTube and there's a video on, how to edit a video for YouTube. The first thing your brain tells you to do is click and listen. No, what I want to know. So the video is how to edit. So what are the questions I want answers to? I want to know how to be able to, create a compelling video. I want to know how to create jump cuts. I want to know how to use lighting in the setup. I want to know what camera I need to use. I write down the questions, then I start listening. And when the guy is speaking, and this is interesting, I stop and I take it slow, and am I really sure I understood this? Am I really sure the knowledge is not in the video, is in my brain now? So it's very crucial, because when we have the book or the video in front of us, we easily mistake where the knowledge is in front of us. It's in the book, is in front of us. And so we say, yeah, it's here, but it's not here. It's there. So we need to slow down and make sure that if I close the book, I can still find the knowledge here. And that's the only thing. So we need to become very intentional. Do not be concerned by speed of turning pages. That is completely not important. You said very precious thing before. Finishing the book is not a goal. Who cares? The goal is to learn and to know stuff, to be able to do new stuff. That's what matters. You can read a book every day, but if you don't learn anything, it's just a waste of time. I much prefer a person that reads one book but truly learns something than some guy or girl bragging about the fact that reads a book a week and doesn't know anything. It's completely meaningless to me. I'm very passionate about the learning process. What I really want is empowering people to learn effectively. And those kind of flashcards, the idea of questions in particular, have the power to direct your focus, your attention. When you search something, you are very, very intentional. Even in your life, when you are searching for your keys, you are very focused. You're like, where are they? You're scanning your home. Instead, when you're mindlessly walking in your home, you're not thinking about it, your head is going whatever. When you learn, you want to have always questions to follow, to direct your attention. So you will be very fast because you will be focused on the thing you need. Yeah.
And I guess today, like, these methods can change. I would say probably can change your life. I'm not even kidding. Like,
yeah.
I think, guys, you can just use this method and change this way to read all the books, or even you listen to my podcast or watch my video, and you can use this method. Then you can learn faster. Today, I learned so much from you, Alex. It's very great. But unfortunately, Alex, your content is Italian.
Yet. But I will, yeah. Sooner or later, I will definitely go international with my content, and maybe even in in your own language. Why not? Maybe you will be my voice in Mandarin. I don't know.
Maybe my audience, they are somehow very international. Some people, they learn German,
English.
maybe they're in Italian. So if my audience want to find you, that how can they find you?
Yeah, you can read my name down here. It's it's a difficult name because it's Italian, it's long, it's Alessandro De Concini, it's very long, but you can type Alessandro De Concini on YouTube. I also go by my initials, so ADC is my initials, and you will find my YouTube channel, my site, www.alessandrodeconcini.com. Everything is in Italian right now. I'm working on something in English for the future, so yeah, I'm still learning how to speak in English properly, so I'm training myself, and but I will definitely do that.
Yeah, so I feel so grateful that I can interview you. So my audience, and they
Let's
can
do
have
it
this
again.
knowledge.
I have so much more stuff to tell you about, so let's do it again.
That's great. Maybe you guys, if you have any question about how to learn faster, right, you can leave your comment below.
Yeah,
Then,
and we will do a follow-up video answering your questions.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that, Alex, you have like huge like stuff that
Yeah,
you
but
can answer their question, and that would be a huge benefit.
yeah,
huge benefit for this.
I care, since we're friends, I care
Mhm.
about your audience as it was my audience. So if they have questions, just leave down there your questions, and me and Aiden will do another video, answering your questions. It will be my pleasure. Truly.
Okay. Thanks for your comment today, Alex.
Thank
It's
you
very
for
good.
having me.
So, hey, guys, so we can see you next time.
Oh yeah, definitely. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.